this whole world of meeting electronically, I'm actually growing to love it.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny. With some people, the clients are on Teams,
Yeah.
and people just live their life by Teams. But one thing I would say is there was an update, and it's not in the notes, but there was an update on Google Calendar,
Okay.
and it was a pretty depressing update. But they basically applied the kind of similar Google Analytics to your
Uh,
calendar.
oh no.
So currently, this is what's worrying. Currently, my average daily meeting time is 6.6 hours.
That's extraordinary.
And that's like, I mean, genuinely, like yeah, the average is 6 point, and I don't know why they're doing this. I don't know if like it's so basically it tells you like 1-to-1, 3+ guests.
Yeah, yeah.
Like who do you kind of usually meet with, and like it's pretty crazy, eh? Like
Well, you know what? It gives you an idea of how you're spending your time. And I do this kind of thing with my students with a media diary,
mm,
getting them to
mm.
figure out how much media they're consuming. Now
Okay,
we got a
okay.
situation where maybe people are complaining, saying, how much time am I actually spending interacting with people? And now they've put the I mean, I think that's kind of a cool idea. It makes you very aware. Like you see the whole calendar,
Yeah.
and now you can actually quantify and go, whoa,
Yeah,
that's
I think it would be nice is if you like if you actually got some advice on the back of it.
yeah, yeah. Well, you know what? Maybe that opens up an opportunity for someone like you and me to
Yeah,
then work with
totally.
people and say, okay, now how do we free this up a little bit? Because
Yeah, yeah.
I talk to you and I say, hey, can we get together? And you throw up your calendar and say, dude, look, and I
Go for
just
it.
go, that's insane. And so now it's time. Okay, so now what's going on
There's a
here?
few. It's interesting. There's a few companies in the US now that have mandated you could only meet for 20 minutes
Yeah, I like that. That's what I
in
do with my
in
groups.
like blocks of
Yeah.
20 minutes. And I think what's interesting is because I wasn't able to see the people I wanted to see, I changed our meetings to 30 minutes, right?
Okay, that's good.
And what happens is that you talk to the time.
Yeah.
So I think now, I think I'm going to probably migrate to that 20-minute window. For like discovery calls and stuff like
Yeah.
that, right? I mean, client calls and things like that, I think demand more time. But I think when you don't know what the outcome of the meeting is going to be,
Yeah.
20 minutes, and then you could always allow a buffer of that 10, and then that gives you time to get up, stretch your legs, have a pee, grab a coffee, whatever you want to do, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing
But
is, I noticed in talking with my wife, she is an educator, and it's amazing. They're in the classroom with the kids for what 7 hours a day,
yeah,
full on, essentially directing these young children, and then they have extraordinary meetings after work. And
mm,
and what I've found in talking with her over the last couple of years about those meetings, and I think all educators and maybe a lot of folks just in meetings in general, is that there's a huge portion of that meeting that could be done in an email, so there's a huge portion that can be done in email. You get the agenda, there's 15 items on it. Well, you're only going to talk about two. So why not be realistic about it? Do the stuff that can be done with an email. Do the stuff that can be done with a video where you just
yeah,
put the video out. This is what we're doing. This is what we're doing. I need this. I need
yeah,
this. Then have a
yeah,
small meeting. People come prepared. That's the other thing. I think a lot of times people don't come prepared. So people then come prepared to the meeting. Your actual FaceTime can be very productive, very short, get in, get out, and everyone's happy. So
yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, it's.
but
I know we're going to talk about that, but I just thought it was pretty
yeah, yeah.
cool to
No, that's
kind of
really
see
cool.
that. But yeah, it's quite fun. So yeah, no, I'll yeah, I think I'll take it under advisement and kind of look at updating and changing the way I look at things. But no, it's good. It's good. But I think one of the things that I sent through to you, which was pretty cool, is how we can kind of simplify our lives a bit with some of these new devices that that Amazon are throwing out.
Oh man,
And
this
I put
robot.
I put one in, yeah, I put one in the notes, but the other one I didn't put in the notes, but I was going to talk about it. So yeah, Amazon have got this little robot called Astro.
I thought that was a
That
joke when you put it up at first. I had to
oh,
go look at it. I thought this
yeah,
can't
yeah.
be for real.
It's like the the kind of dog dog
Yeah,
robot or whatever. But this is it's chunkier. It's like $1,000.
yeah.
And it'll kind of run around your house and perform little tasks. And but the other thing that they're launching as well is a drone, indoor drone,
Yeah.
for security.
Yeah.
So it'll kind of just like detect movement and and take off and and I think it was just interesting. We talk about this a lot, but how the Amazon just make things so accessible.
Yeah.
So it's I mean, even if you and I were sitting here 2 years ago and we said, hey, listen, I'm thinking about buying a drone for my house for security, you'd be like, yeah, okay, thanks.
Yeah. We'd be laughing, going, nah.
Okay, get some more sleep, you know.
The thing is with Amazon, I am constantly amazed at how they're like a creeping company, and I mean this in a good sense, but they just work slowly, methodically, and they just keep doing their job. And we get throttled with stuff that Apple's doing, we get throttled with stuff that Microsoft's doing, and Amazon, they're in our face, but they're just
Yeah,
hey, we're just going to keep doing it. We're a logistics
yeah.
company. We're just doing our thing, and
Uh,
next thing you know, your whole life is being run by Amazon.
Yeah, you're right. They're quietly kind of busy beavering away in the background, and
Yeah,
and kind of they just keep releasing them. And I mean, it's crazy. Like the three stories that I pulled up this week are all Amazon.
yeah,
They've just tied in with Disney, and now they've got this Disney Alexa, right?
yeah.
Which is all kind of Disneyed up, and Disney Plus channel and the Alexa show, right? That you've got there, and it kind of blows me away. I think it's I think the thing is here, because we don't have, for whatever reason, right, they don't allow the Alexa products here, so it's
Yeah,
not
I
easy.
don't
It's
understand
not
that.
easy to, I don't know, it's not easy to get Fire tablets, Fire sticks, Alexa. The only thing that actually is ready available is a Kindle, but
Hmm.
there must be some reason why, whatever. But because I notice it when obviously I'm heading off to the States. When you go into a Best Buy,
Right.
there's like an Amazon, state, like Apple would have a Apple section in Best Buy, and
Yeah.
Samsung there is a Alexa station, and it's like, oh, okay, you got the Dot and you got the Show and you got the, then you got all the Blink and the Ring and all of the
Yeah.
peripheral companies that they own, and basically, I mean, you could kit your whole house out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
With kind of this setup, and I guess we don't see it, right? We don't. I mean, the Chinese, the Xiaomi's and the Huawei's, they're the ones that kind of dominate that space here, as far as branded stores and all that kind of stuff, where you can go in and just buy crazy amounts from smart trainers all the way up to smart watches, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty nuts. It's just, and look, I think the thing is, what's interesting is with Jeff Bezos completely kind of, now he's doubled down on his time on Blue Origin. There doesn't seem to have been any impact, right, on the innovation piece.
Uh,
So I don't know if it's once a week he's kind of sitting there going, what about this? What do you reckon?
I wonder what the structure of that company is with innovation and innovation rollout, because I'm really not clear. I mean, I totally am not clear on how they're doing that, but it is working very well. So
Yeah,
and I wonder if it isn't one of those systems. It ain't broke, so let's not fix it. They're
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
they just keep doing it
yeah,
because it's consistent. Now that they've rolled out this Alexa Disney connection, which makes
yeah,
total sense, right? Because suddenly
yeah,
through your Alexa, you're getting these Disney products that
yeah,
are interacting with you, not and
yeah.
then pushing you towards those products. I mean, why? It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. Did you speaking of design and innovation, you remember the Sir John Ive, the kind of head designer at Apple. You remember this
Yeah,
guy?
yeah, yeah.
When they used to always do the launch, obviously, they kind of, he would be talking. He's got that very kind of methodical, easy to listen, digest voice. he's just been snapped up by Ferrari,
There we go.
and he's making their first electric car,
There you go.
designing it.
See?
That's, I mean, talk about, cross pollination, or kind of how those things. I mean, you and Glenn talk about, electric vehicles all the time, and I know Glenn obviously is not a huge fan, but it's I mean, that's pretty crazy, right? To go from designing iPhone, watch, and it's iconic, the things that he did, obviously, and now we're like Ferrari, like, well, hold on a minute, he's obviously got a great eye, let's pull him over to Ferrari and get him to design our electric car.
Well,
Crazy.
it's not one person alone. So him working with this team and inspiring the team to think a little bit differently and
Exactly.
think that's, in which sense, I know designers out there their eyes are rolling in the back of their head, but the core ideas of design work across platforms. And
Yes, true.
if
Very
you
true.
can unleash that creative permission, look what happened. And actually, I had that conversation the other day with some students, and we were talking about computers. And I said, everyone here, you bring your computer, but if you got a Lenovo, it's bring my laptop. If you got an HP, it's bring my laptop. If you got a Huawei, it's bring my laptop. If you got an Apple, it's bring my Mac. It's bring my Mac. It's not a computer. It's a Mac. And I said, well, what's going on with that?
That's very true, eh? That's pretty crazy. I'd never thought of that. And it's the same for iPhone, right?
People it's get your mobile, get my iPhone.
That's mad. I've never thought of that. Because I say MacBook.
Yeah.
I say grab your MacBook. And I find that when I'm doing presentations, especially like to a crowd, I'll correct myself and say, "Oh, your laptop." Like it's it kind of almost sounds derogatory, right? Yeah, grab your laptop. I mean, if you
it's always or your laptop. If you got a laptop, well, I don't know what you're doing there.
I don't know why you'd have one, but yeah.
Actually, it was funny.
Same thing for iPad, right? iPad or tablet.
Yeah, you never call your iPad a tablet. You call your iPad an iPad.
I wonder if that's the reason why Huawei did MateBook.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Because it kind of MateBook, like I think that kind of the only other one that I've ever called that before, going back in the day, was the Vio, the little Sony Vio I had, because that was interestingly, as we're kind of heading traveling, Amit's going to be taking his Surface.
Okay.
So Surface. Kind of one of those baby Surfaces.
Yeah.
Locked up. I think the 12-inch or something, or the 11-inch, whatever. It's because obviously you can now, right? Everything's up on the cloud. Boom, just like you're there. It's that's crazy, man. I genuinely, it's interesting how you kind of, these things just blow past you, right? And they're like, that's it, right?
What's this thing you posted up about WhatsApp? I think this is kind of interesting, because it's amazing. I'm finding WhatsApp has become the go-to for group meetings. In fact, with Creative Mornings, we meet almost exclusively via WhatsApp. Like, that's our home for sending video, sending audio, sending messages on things. We might talk for a few minutes, but almost everything happens in the WhatsApp environment.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty crazy. I think that what's interesting is that, WhatsApp. So we were Amit and I were talking about yesterday on Growth Show about WhatsApp for business, and how that's kind of helping business. But from a personal perspective, it's wildly frustrating that you're not able to have it in multiple devices, in multiple spaces. You have to hack. If you want it on your iPad, you have to do the desktop version in a Chrome browser, and like it's not there. And I guess the thing is, it relies on a mobile number, right? That's for verification, for messaging. But a lot of people want to use that tool, right? That communication tool. And I guess that
hold on a second. I'm using WhatsApp on my desktop. I got an app for it on my
on your desktop, but not on an iPad.
Oh,
there's there's not an app, right? So you do a hack. Same for Mac. I mean, I've got an app for WhatsApp, and you can you can obviously run it up in the Chrome browser. So
Right. Yeah, that's where I'm running. I'm not running in my other browsers. It's just in the Chrome one.
That's another thing that people say. Chrome. They
Yeah.
don't say Internet Explorer. They don't say that's another thing. I'm gonna try and I think my mission today is to try and find all of those things that people use. It's like famously like you know, a Hoover, right?
Right.
The Hoover is not, it's a vacuum.
Pass
Right?
a Kleenex. Pass a Kleenex. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another
Yeah. Excuse me, yeah,
one.
but it's sorry, dude, blew out your eardrums there. I didn't have a chance to push the mute button, and everyone else listening. But the
Which,
yes,
but the big question is why? Why has WhatsApp not done this? Because they know so many people are using the software across platforms. Why don't we already have cross-platform mobility?
I
What do you
don't know.
think?
It's strange, isn't it? It kind of you know, they've got that facility. They're combining everything from a Facebook and Instagram perspective. We got that centralized messaging that they kind of pulled in from a WhatsApp for business perspective. They have that available as well, where you can combine the messages in a single point.
Yeah.
But they seem to be, you know, kind of a bit behind. I guess that a lot of their innovation is driven by the US market. And
Okay.
I think the usage of WhatsApp isn't where it is either in you know, this part of the world or Europe, let's say, right? Because I mean, bear in mind when Facebook bought it, it was to tap into European markets that they weren't very, you know, popular in. So as much as, you know, you and I are kind of WhatsApping, and everyone here WhatsApps in the region, it's kind of replaced that BBM. You know, the ultimately innovation, you know, activity is driven by the US. Actually, it was one thing I wanted to talk about just real briefly at the end here, that we spoke about obviously Amazon Marketplace as well. You know, the store that you don't have to kind of pay, right, to kind of walk out. It's like shoplifting, and they
Yeah.
launched one here, right?
Oh, really?
Carrefour launched a you know, a store where you just go in and walk in and buy your stuff and walk out.
I
So
love.
they it's in Morley Emirates. So I thought I'd let you know, just if you wanted to head down there and kind of test it out.
You know what? This is a funny thing because we've got so many malls now in the city. I can't think of the last time I've been to the Mall of the Emirates.
Same for me.
I was in Dubai Mall yesterday. First of all, I thought it was Christmas. There were so many people. Second, I ended up in a part of the mall that I never go to, and I'm looking around going, where did these stores come from? And someone just looked at me and said, dude, they've been here forever. So I didn't know.
I never go to the Dubai Mall. That is a place that I never go to. Well, I don't go to malls really. I'm a huge kind of online guy, so I don't really on, you know, mall it. That's for sure.
I've turned into. I mean, I wasn't the online guy. COVID turned me into the online guy. I just suddenly realized, hey, this is and little things. You know, in fact, I needed an extender cable for my router. I go to you know, the store to get one. I'm looking at the price and I'm going, this is way over my $9 limit. I get online and it's 18 dirhams and I'm going, in the $9 limit. And that's what I said. And I said it was like 100 dirhams in the shop. I order it online. I get the same product, same branding. I'm going, how is that possible? And I got it the same day. It's like, oh.
Yeah, I was talking to some guys in a gaming shop, and I said, listen, look, guys, this is the price on Amazon right now.
Yeah.
And they're like, we don't even know how they're doing that. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I said, but like, you know, can you match this? So like, we can't match it, but we'll come within 5 dirhams. I was like, cool, I'm happy. Like, I'll happily kind of give you guys business. You know, I don't want to obviously, but the online space now, everything is just, it's too easy, dude. Click, click, bang, you know.
You're heading to the US, which means we're going to get an update on all the cool stuff that you've ran into and things that we need to be looking out for. Can't wait to catch up. It's been a lot of fun talking tech. It's like your Tech Blast. Tech Blast. And maybe that's what we're going to call it. It's not Tech Talk. It's Tech Blast.